We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome, Sarah. I am very happy that you said yes to talk with me today.
Me too. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. So, my first question is how would you introduce yourself to those who don't know you yet or don't know you as much? So, what would you like them to know about you?
Oh, that's awesome. Well, my name is Sarah. I grew up, I am from the United States of America. I grew up in California. And I love creating with the Access Consciousness tools. I'm a certified facilitator. And I was first introduced to the tools by my older brother, Dr. Dane here in the year 2000. And I avoided them like the plague for 15 years. So
Yeah.
I always tell people that like your timing is your timing, and you'll change when you're ready to change. And I know that having possibilities, like knowing the door of possibilities was there for me, allowed me to get there. And so as a facilitator, what I like to do is invite you to the door. I don't want to shove you through it. I'd like to just show you that there is a possibility and you're not wrong if you never choose it. Um, as a facilitator, my like biggest commitment is you're not wrong. That's it. Like you're
Wow.
not wrong. If you knew that nothing about you, nothing you've ever chosen was wrong, you'd be way more free to choose and choose again. And so as a facilitator, I also am like very pragmatic with the tools. I try to make them because I needed that because I avoided them so long because I was like, it's too complicated. And so I do my best to like break things down into like bite-sized, digestible pieces, paint pictures, tell stories so that we can have a lot of fun and creating change because change doesn't actually have to be that emotional and that difficult and hard. So
Yes, actually, it's easy, right? Just we don't believe that it's too easy,
yeah,
maybe. And to create change, our very potent tool is our bodies. What do you think about it? Because I know you love bodies just as much as me, so I know how much can we create with the body processes and some tools, and just by listening to our bodies and be a friend or be the best friend for us.
totally. I mean, we've been taught to judge our bodies so much, and there's so many different ways that we do that. And part of that is not ever being acknowledged for your awareness. So when you're growing up, no one asks you what you're aware of. They tell you things all the time. And that includes telling you things about your body since you were born. When you were born, your mother was told how to navigate you and your body and put you into a schedule so that she could have ease with being with you and your body. And the schedule might not have ever been true for you. So we're not actually invited to create and play with our bodies and receive from them. So you're taught to judge them by their aesthetic, the way they look, their shape, all of that. But bodies are so much more than the way that we treat them. And so you're at the effect of everything around you that your body's aware of, and you pick up on it, the world around you. But if you were never told that you were aware when you were young or asked for your awareness, then you think everything you're aware of has to do with you and your body, but your body's just giving you information. But the moment you conclude, you shut off the awareness, and now you're dealing with a conclusion. So the access body processes and the tools and the questions that we have really start to get us to open up to, oh my gosh, I've been aware this whole time and no one told me. And so what does it look like to, have people, well, have the tools to access that awareness and not be at the effect of it anymore.
Yes, that's so beautiful. And you are coming to Budapest and you will have a 3-day body class here. What do you love most about a 3-day body class? What can people receive from it? A few days ago, I heard Gary, he was talking about the 3-day body class, and he told that the biggest gift of the 3-day body class is that we learn to receive. And it's so beautiful. So I think that's the biggest thing about a 3-day body class, but I am really keen on what is your favorite thing with a 3-day body class.
Yeah, I totally agree with Gary. I'm so grateful that he created these classes and these tools. Um, Learning to receive is about so many things other than like what we decided it is, like money, like if you can't lay on a table for 3 days and have someone contribute to you in your body, that you can measure that by how much money you're willing to receive as well. Because if you're like, oh my gosh, too much, you'll do that with a lot of different, with possibilities, with relationships, with money, with sex, so many different areas that you'll block receiving. So 100% that. One thing I would add is that, how would I put this? So our beings, so this is an example of a Sarah tool. Okay. Because
Wow.
I'll make it bite-sized and kind of like, like with a pragmatic picture. So our beings gather information all the time. So whether you're scrolling on TikTok, you're reading a book, you're talking to a friend, you will get information about like how to navigate the world. Now, whether, again, scrolling on TikTok, you get information about, how to peel a hard-boiled egg. Okay. And then you will receive that information. And then the next time that someone around you is peeling a hard-boiled, this just happened to me, by the way, that's why I'm sharing. Okay. I was like, my friend was like peeling a hard-boiled egg, and I was like, wait a minute, I have information about this. Hold on. Let me share with you this information that I have because I saw it on social media. And so I told her that there's a much easier way to peel a hard-boiled egg. And so we did it. And it was a lot easier. So I received information and then I gifted it to somebody else. And that can be your favorite tool. That can be your favorite movie. We're always receiving and gifting, receiving information. And then when it's time, we gift it. Now, take that same awareness and apply it to your body. So your body is receiving informations. That's not good English. Your body is receiving information about all the bodies around it all the time. Okay. There's a saying in English that said, and I don't know how it translates, but I caught a cold, like I caught a cold from somebody. But no, your body perceived another body that required contribution. And the only thing that you've been taught with your body is to go into someone's world and try to extract whatever their pain is, make it your pain, and then maybe they won't have pain. But if that body isn't giving up the pain and they like the pain, you now just have the pain as a symptom of your awareness. Are you following? So basically what I perceive with the body processes is we are giving information just like the hard-boiled egg to the body. The body's getting aware of different energies that it can use to contribute and gift to itself. So if you're around a body, whether you're sitting next to a stranger on a park bench or you're in line at the grocery store on a live with somebody, and that body would like to receive something, and it's kind of like the hard-boiled egg, the body's like trying to create its hard-boiled egg, and the other body knows what it requires or what can contribute, it can just flow that with ease. So your body starts to have way more ease with being the contribution she or he naturally desires to be without cognitive thought, by the way. That's the wild part about all this. Your body's like, oh, I have a new body process. I'd like to be a contribution. Your body starts flowing these different energies, and then everybody around you has more ease. You have more ease, and you don't get stuck in your awareness of other bodies.
Wow, I like the example. It's very beautiful. And people get a chance to get verbal facilitation during the 3-day body class as well. Like if they have any symptoms or long ongoing, let's call it problems, but intensities with their bodies, they can also ask you and you can help them to facilitate that thing and get ease with that as well, right?
100%. A lot of times what will be coming up in your, I'm going to say thoughts because most people say their thoughts, but in like your awareness for a question to ask, a lot of times it's because whatever body process is being ran is activating the awareness of the question. And what I like to remind people all the time, if you have a question about something, a true question, the only reason why you have that question is because you also have the awareness. So what is actually happening when you have a question is that the awareness is bubbling, and it's tickling, and it's kind of itchy, and it's in the back over here. So you haven't told you have the awareness, you're told you don't have it, but it's like scratching, on the surface of your reality, and it's like awareness wants in, and then you go, oh, I'm going to ask a question, but we were taught that question comes from somebody who doesn't know. Watch this little analogy. So you were taught to ask the teacher who knows more than you a question. She will give you an answer. But the reason you have the question is because you actually also have the awareness. But this reality is so brilliant at getting you to be entrained to, I'm only asking a question because I don't know. Okay. And so if you change the paradigm and go, I'm asking the question because I do know something about this, and it's a facilitator's job not to give you their awareness, but to offer you another question so that we can peel back the layers of the awareness you already have. You wouldn't have a question if you didn't have awareness. And that's the beauty of question. It actually reveals your awareness to you. So that's why, like, I love my job, because I don't have to know anything except that my job is to empower you to know what you know. So I get to ask you questions, open-ended questions, for you to get to that awareness. And it's so beautiful when the bodies get to contribute to that. My body, their bodies, all the other bodies get to contribute. I like love the body process, the 3-day body classes for that reason as well. It's like so delicious.
Wow, that's so nice. I never heard it this way, explained this way, but it's so nice. Yeah, empowering people to know that they know, as we always say in Access Consciousness, and it gets us, or get more of us, and this way we can start to be us. That's what the Being You and Being You classes are giving us, to really be us. And you have a specialty class with Being You Beauty, and I'm so curious, you will have a one-night class also when you will be here in Budapest. And could you tell me please more about it? So how did you get this awareness that it's a contribution to people to have this being you with the beauty, and it's about, no, I know that it's not about the outside beauty, or not just the outside beauty or how we look, but more that the inside beauty of us. So could you please share us a few informations about this class?
Yeah, totally. So I owned a hair salon in Los Angeles for like 17 years, 16. I don't know. I have to do the math. Long time. And then when I started to play with the Access tools, it was very clear to me that beauty in this reality is this or that. It's either or. You have to choose whether you were gifted the right judgeable aesthetic and you get to present it to the world, meaning the world tells you by standards that you're beautiful, or you go, I'm not beautiful, therefore I need to work on the inside. And then you get really significant about it's what's on the inside that counts, and you ignore your outer beauty, like the body. And I created Being You Beauty. It gets misunderstood all the time, and I'm just okay with it, because once you get there, you'll realize what it actually is for people, because people are always like, is it a makeup class, or is it an inner beauty class? No and yes. It's all of those things. Men are invited too. So men are beautiful creatures as well, but we often don't include them when we say beauty, because beauty is like gauged towards a woman's body. It's very interesting. Basically, what the class invites us to is that if you were never ever told what is beautiful, if no one said this body type, this skin color, this length of hair, this curly hair, straight hair, this color eyes, if you were never told that ever, and you woke up and you just got to see the beauty and the difference of all of our bodies, how would you see you? And how could you include your being in your beauty? We've all met someone or know of someone who judgeably on the outside is not that attractive. They're not that beautiful. Gary writes about somebody that he knew in the Sex is Not a Four-Letter Word book, about a woman who just owned her body, was just so connected to her body, even though by standard she wasn't that beautiful. She pulled energy everywhere she went because she wasn't in constant judgment of herself. She could sleep with whoever she wanted. She could create whatever money she wanted. It was not an either or situation. She was like, hey, I am this, and I am beautiful, and I am walking through the world. And we broadcast our points of view to people all the time. We broadcast 10 minutes before you arrive or more. You have already told everybody how to treat you and how to judge you appropriately. I just had a body class 2 weekends ago, and there was a woman who ran late. She was like 45 minutes late for class. And the moment that I perceived her being tardy, I knew she thought she was already preparing for me to judge her and be mad at her. And when she came in and I hugged her and I was like, I'm so grateful you're here and I'm so excited to see you, she was very disorientated because she had already prepared me by broadcasting to judge her for being late. We do this all the time with our bodies, our beauty, our business, our creations. Here's the appropriate way to judge me so that I know I'm still me by definition.
Mm.
So if you are broadcasting, I am beautiful, and I am a gift, and my body is a gift, no matter what shape or color or size it is, she's a gift and she's lusty and she wants to play and she wants to contribute and receive. I broadcast that everywhere. People pick up on it and go, why do I want to be around her? Okay. But we use judgment to limit everything, including our beauty and our body and how we can play and engage with our bodies that don't have anything to do with judgment.
Yes, and sorry.
No, it's okay, go ahead.
Just go on. No, it just pinged me that we always say that this is the sexualness or the sexual energy, what we can use to create our lives, and it has nothing to do with sex or copulation. Could you tell me more about this sexual energy, or how can we create everything in our lives with it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it has nothing to do with copulation. I would just say they're different. So definitely be all your sexualness, your healing, nurturing, caring, all those yummy energies during sex. But copulation is putting the body parts together, and that's a choice. So you can be all the sexualness all the time and then choose who you copulate with. And then you don't need to cut off any of it. I think sometimes when we hear sexualness, like I just did a book club. Well, no, just kidding. It wasn't a book club. We didn't read the book. I'm just kidding. We did a class based on the book of Sex is Not a Four-Letter Word. And basically what we saw, like the very first question was someone asking sexuality versus sexualness. And like, there's no verses. Meaning sexuality or sex or copulation is not wrong and sexualness right. We can't use judgment to determine those things. We've got to look at what creates what and what are you asking to create. And so sexuality is a definition of who you will or will not receive from. So if you are a straight female, then you can't receive sexual energies from females. And if you're in a relationship and you're with a male, then you cut out all the other males. You can't receive from gay or homosexual males. Like there's so many things that you have to compartmentalize of where you receive from. Sex is receiving, period. Like you're just out there doing your thing, broadcasting that you're a gift, being your beauty, and you're just receiving everywhere. And then sexualness is all those yummy, nurturing energies that we cut off in order to do the right, good judgment of the sexual reality. But what if you could be that with everybody? And what if you don't have to keep that the nurturance that you be for bodies in the world only for the bedroom? What if you could be all those energies, you know?
Yes.
I don't know if that answered your question.
Yes. Thank you. It was amazing. Oops. I think for me, yeah, you froze. You froze for a second, but now you are here. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. So it was amazing. Yes. And it also happens during the 3-day body class. This nurturing energy and the body's love to be touched and the body processes. Oh my God, it's so yummy and melting, and I love it. Mm, if you would have the chance now to have a billboard and write just one sentence on it, what would it be like now in these 10 seconds? What would your message be to all those people who are listening to us today?
Oh, that's so good. I have like 75 that just came into my head right now. I think the loudest thing in my world right now is that, like, this might not have anything to do with what we've been talking about, but choice creates awareness. Most people are waiting for awareness before they choose, and it is a dynamic way that we were entrained in this reality. Like, it's how we were parented. It's like you were told and taught all everywhere to predict an outcome before you choose, and if it's an outcome you like, then choose. And truly, if people really got that awareness came from every choice that you've ever made, you would know, no choices were ever wrong because you always gain more awareness, and you would be less afraid to choose because you would know you could choose again. So if I could do a billboard, it would be choice creates awareness, not the other way around.
Wow.
Because that in itself can set people free, and also question choice possibility. So you ask a question, you get light on a choice, you choose, then you create the possibility and you ask another question. Like it's the cycle of life if we were willing to know that it could be that easy.
Oh, it's amazing. We should write that on a billboard. And you mentioned parenting, and I know we have just a few minutes left from this conversation, but as a parent, did you experience that these body processes can also help with children or for them, or your connection with them, and also for them in life to handle this reality easier, for
Totally.
example?
I had my kids when they were little running one of the processes of cellular memory. And if ever they like did something that hurt their sibling, I would be like, they wouldn't be in trouble. They just had to go run cellular memory on the other one. Okay. They would go put their hands on. What I would say with kids, what it's done is bring them to their awareness that they have magic in their fingertips and that they can activate energies that create change for themselves and others. Um, I have a million stories that I could tell, but one that pops is my son. I was just talking to him. He's 23 years old. Like 2 days ago, we were talking about how when he was in high school, he started having heart palpitations. And so the school sent him to the hospital. They checked his heart and they said, yeah, you have irregular heartbeat. There's something. They had 2 diseases they were deciding between that were not good, like very short life-term diseases. If he was diagnosed with either one of those, the projected life would be no more than 30 years old. So there we were with our 2 choices. And I was actually going to an advanced body class with Dane in Costa Rica, and he went to the hospital, and I was down there, and I said, I need you to come down here. He said, okay. And I got him on a plane. I flew down there, and a bunch of body workers, including Dane, worked on him. And because he was willing to receive it and knew that there was a possibility different than the outcome the hospital was telling him, he flew back after that. They did all these stress tests where they make him ride a bike and breathe into something and do all this stuff. And they were like, the doctor was actually looking at his first test and the test after having all these body processes, and was like, accused the hospital of sending the wrong results to him, that there was no way that this was the same person. There must be a mistake. And he's like, I don't know what happened or if it was just a glitch in the system, but you're fine. And so and even telling you that story, Rika, I'm still like, wow. Like just even like 5 years ago, I probably would have been like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if it didn't happen to me, because it's like, why are we doing all this other stuff in this world when it could be that easy? You know, why
Yes.
are we medicating everybody? And, I won't get into that whole system, but like, why is that what we have to choose if this is possible? And so, my contribution to the world is to become a 3-day body facilitator and invite anyone and everyone who wants to have a really good time learning these things and knowing it's possible.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was an amazing story. Yes. And really, anything is possible. That's what I also experienced a lot of times. And I am still like that, oh, this has happened to me, but I still can't believe that
Yeah,
that miracle happened, and like it's just an instant change. And really, the body processes are huge contribution to that in
so
all of
true.
our life areas. Like, yeah. Thank you so much. So we are waiting for you to come to Budapest, and you will have the 3-day body class, the Being You Beauty class, and you will have an opening of the
Introduction.
introduction of the symphony. Yes. So you have plenty of opportunities to meet Sarah in person. And I think introduction of the symphony and Being You Beauty has no prerequisites. So everyone is more than welcome to join us. And the 3-day body class has a foundation as the prerequisite. But until that, you can still attend a foundation and be with us and melt on the 3-day body class. So thank you so much, Sarah.
You're
I
so
am really, really, really waiting for meet you in person.
I can't
And you can get any information from me or from Henny, who translated you to Hungarian this conversation. So just reach out to us. We can help with anything, and we are waiting to meet you in
wait.
person. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much. Thank
Bye
you.
guys. Thank you,
Bye.
lovely.